everyone, welcome back to my channel. I came out to fill the bird feeders and it was such a nice afternoon that I thought I would do my video out here for you. And it's appropriate because today is February 19th. We're following along in Sarah Ban Breathnach's book, Simple Abundance, and she's talking to us about being an explorer. So I felt like, I hope this doesn't blow in the wind. I felt like being outside and having like an adventurous sort of feeling was appropriate for being an explorer. So she's setting us up on our journey to self-excavation, right? We've already done a lot of it, but we're going to be getting further into it, and she's sort of taking us on a safari trip over these next few entries. So get your safari hat out. I have to say, I love thinking about when I was little. I had this whole safari set with a jeep and animals, and I used to play with it for hours. So I like the idea of being on safari. We were pioneers, right? Then we've been goddesses, we've been artists, now we're explorers. It's all about exploring the self. So in addition to the exploring and safari and everything that she's setting us up for, today she introduces a new tool. And I have to say, I don't remember this from the old book because it's nothing that I ever did. So if it was in there, it was buried because I never wrote it down and I've never done it. I kind of have done it in a different way, but so she talks to us today about creating what she calls a someday box. So remember when I shared with you in January my illustrated discovery journal, and I had various sections, and one of the sections was a travel section, right? So that's where I put in pictures and ideas about places that I encounter through shows or anything that just really excite me and make me think like, ooh, I'd like to go there. So I've been doing that in my creative illustrated discovery journal, but this someday box is the same sort of idea, but you're getting an actual box and then you're putting things in there. Like she talks about getting like travel magazines, and you can go to like AAA and get brochures about places and things like that. So this is an area to just sort of put your travel wishes in, right? So what do you think? Are you gonna do that? I can just picture, I know there are boxes, like I've mentioned boxes from the craft store, but there are boxes that probably have things like the globe on them. That reminds me too, I know one of our watchers actually has a map of the globe, or a map of the world, and has little pins of all the places that have already been visited. And then I don't know how this person decides on the new places, but if you're watching, which I know you are, maybe you have a someday box and you'll share with us what you do and how you decide where you're going to go next. When I think about traveling, I have to say, like, I don't have wanderlust. I really don't. Like, there are lots of places on this continent and in our country specifically that I do want to visit, and I'm going to share later in the year a project that I have related to visiting places in our country. But as far as world travel, I have gone over to Europe before, but personally, like, I'm totally fine watching National Geographic and travel shows, and I get enough fulfillment out of that, and then I don't have to actually get on the plane because I do get motion sick pretty easily. And also sometimes like exotic cuisines just don't agree with my digestive system. So I'm okay, but I still do like to gather places, and even if it's like I get intrigued with a place, like I've always been really drawn to Egypt, but I don't know that I'll ever go there. But I still like this idea of gathering things together, and maybe it means that, like Sarah says in today's entry too, that you're reading books or you're watching shows or listening to music from that culture and just being the explorer in those ways, like I'm totally fine with that. Like I don't need to jump on a plane and get over to another continent. But maybe you do. Maybe you love to travel and you really like this someday box idea. So I hope you take it and run with it if you love it. I hope you're honoring the places that you're really interested in going, and just dreaming, because that's like another part of this getting to know yourself thing. And I also think, when I think about being an explorer, when I was little, I really wanted to be an archaeologist. I was so interested in all the dinosaur bones and how they found them, and when they dig up things from ancient civilizations. So I'm reminded of that, and I think, like, even though I didn't become an archaeologist, I can be an archaeologist for my inner self, I guess. But I can still do things like go to museums and see bones, and go and learn about other cultures in a museum. I can watch shows. There's so much that we have that's at our fingertips to be able to just watch a show. So the possibilities are endless, and you don't even have to leave your couch, really. I hope you like this one. Hope you're having a great February so far. There's going to be so much more on the channel. Again, we're following along with Sarah and her principles: joy, harmony, beauty, order, simplicity, and gratitude. You better be doing your gratitude pages. You know who you are if I'm saying that to you. Thanks for being here. Thanks to the new subscribers. Hey, we're well over 44 now, so the sky's the limit with the subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you later this week as we continue on our safari adventure. Thanks so much for being here.